Hello, welcome to another tonal landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Whispers of Twilight. It's a 6x8, and I painted this last week, and I'm happy to share it with you. Now, if you want to gander at my reference image, it's in the Substack Studio Pass. Oh, and I think I did share it at the beginning of the members only video as well. So I'm sorry if I've been lapsing on that. Some of you don't want to deal with Substack, and I appreciate you. I'm going to make everybody happy if I can. Yeah, I have done this. I have done a version of this scene before, and I was going to do it again, bigger, and then I kept looking at it in my reference folder. Yeah, I don't have my T-square. I misplaced it. I did find it though. Um, I kept looking at it, and I was saying, the center is just full of whatever. I want something there, and so what did I do? I circled it, and I asked Adobe to give me some water, and it did, and it was pretty good. Very much like the kind of scene you might see driving around out here. We have a lot of hills, we have a lot of ocean. Let me tell you, we're an island, we're surrounded by water, so this is quite often you might turn a corner and see a beautiful ocean view, and here I kind of use the sunset thing. And I want to point out, you can, like I say, when you see the actual reference image, you can see the sky I had composited into the reference, and it was a little different than the with its lighting than the landscape lighting was. That was kind of maybe late afternoon, and the sky that I popped in there was definitely much later. But I don't usually worry too much about that kind of thing. I just make sure that when I'm painting that I'm establishing a uniform light source, and a lot of times I've got to maybe identify that. And but here's a tip, always pick a light source. Never. I've made this mistake so many times. If you've had the like a sunset scene and it's lit in the middle, and then you think, oh, I'm going to light everything from the center out, that's a weird look. You're always better off just picking one side of your trees or the other, and have the light hit them from that side, even if it's subtle. Yeah. And even if it's twilight, I'd say you still want to have a little more favor the light on one side of things a little more than the other. Now, this these kinds of roads are always a challenge to paint. And in the reference image, you could see it just had these big, long, arcing, elliptical sort of streaks. And I did mention in the live video that when I first came out to New Zealand, and there's a lot of metal roads out here because there's a lot of rural areas, so the roads aren't completely paved everywhere. And I'd worked on a scene. It was an 8x8. It was actually the first painting I ever sold out here. And oh man, I just worked on that road forever. I got all the little pebbly bits and the little arcs, and someone liked it and they bought it. But for my part, I was saying never again will I approach a road like that. So what I tend to do is I want to roughen things up. I don't care if the road in my painting would be very nice to drive on. What I want is it to look interesting. So you can see there in my drawing, I instead of painting smooth little arcs or whatever, I kind of broke things up, and I followed through on that throughout the entire painting. Now, one of the things that I thought was really cool is I think it really is neat when you have gray slash orange in the sky. I don't do it all the time, but I love doing it when I get a chance, and I did here. And one thing I want to pass on is like in the reference image, the clouds were like super dark, super intense. You really don't ever want to paint any cloud in the sky too dark or too intense. The darkest thing in your landscape needs to be, generally speaking, the trees against the sky, the vertical elements. In this case, we don't have a lot of outright verticalness, but we do have trees, and they are against the sky, and we have some shadows and things. So you can get away with quite a lot, though. I mean, I do, and um, It's all good. Actually, I put a certain amount of effort into creating this reference image. Actually, it just keeps growing and growing and growing and changing from when I'd shot the original photo, metamorphosizing. I didn't run it through any of the AI engines or anything. It's all just regular Photoshop work. But except for, like I said, how Adobe Photoshop's inbuilt AI engine helped me set up that water. But yeah, there are times I might run something through Stable Diffusion or do whatever. The thing is that the more interesting and colorful, dynamic your reference image is, the better your painting is going to be. Uh, I think a lot of painters maybe have this idea that all of the creativity needs to happen on the surface of the painting itself and only there. And that's certainly well, I'll just tell you what I do. I try to start injecting creativity at every point, and it starts with when I'm in nature. I'm looking at a scene, I'm thinking, yes, I like that composition. Maybe I can make a painting from that, and I shoot a picture. Now, I've shot thousands and thousands of pictures that never actually got turned into paintings, and then there's some that I've used repeatedly over and over and over. But that's the beginning. That's the initial impetus behind the creation of the painting, is apprehending a composition in nature that you think is going to look cool. From there, I take it for a ride in Photoshop. At the very least, will swap out the sky. But I tend to like to amp up the tones in the image. There is a filter in Photoshop that I love to use, and it's in one of the neural filters. It's called color transfer. And it's my book. We've been selling lots of books. Thank you so much for the support. We're able to ship anywhere now, and it's all good. It's very gratifying for me to send this to you anywhere you are on the planet. $65 U.S. international shipping's included. Place your order, and I'll get you your book. And we are still working. We working on the new book. I've been working on the formatting of the print editions, and it's proceeding apace. So it's definitely going to be something that's going to be available next year. My editor is also working on, because it's all been written for about a while now. But my editor is she's gotten through 3 volumes, but she's going to be working her way through volume 1, which I'm very excited about, since I actually went in and formatted that, and then I'm going to have to go in and sort things out. But I used a lot of great images in there. Anyway, stay tuned for that. So that sky's popping. I think it looking real good. And in a sense, this really became a sort of a sky painting. Now, one thing I'm very. Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to go ahead on Wednesday. I'm going to make the live session for this painting available to everybody, because I'm very proud not only of the painting, but I've been really working hard to get the quality of the video up nice and sharp, and the quality of the audio up so you can hear me mumbling. Sometimes those mumbles are gold, and the transcript. So it'll be a perfect opportunity for you to, if you haven't signed up for my Substack, to do that, because this transcript is the best ever. And I'm so happy. I was really, really pleased with my assistant. They did a great job. I've been training them forever to do a good job on those. And it was really due to my improved recording technology. I really struggled to get that transcript down. And the thing is, I'd worked so hard to do some good teaching as I was painting. It's not every live painting session has got tons of good teaching. Every one of them does have some, though, I will definitely say that. But I almost gave up, and then I thought, no, I can do this. And I was able to pull out, first of all, a really good raw transcript, and then just the most amazing transcript that really provides you a lot of insight into, if you think this is an attractive painting and you'd like to know a bit about how I did it, It's all going to be there in the transcript. And of course, it's all there in the video itself. The video is about 2.5 hours. The transcript, don't take you that long to read through that. And you can go, oh, wow, that's covering that and it's covering that. I think they go hand in hand. It's been a dream of mine forever to capture those teaching moments in written form. And that's what we're doing. And it's very exciting. It's very worthwhile. And yeah, I don't know how much longer I got to paint, how much longer I got to teach. Maybe I'll be lucky I'll live in my hundreds or something, or maybe I'll die on my way to the studio tomorrow. I don't know, but either way, I love to teach, I love to paint, and I will keep doing it as long as I can, and I will keep making things better and better and better and better and better because that's what life's about, right? And I know you're into it. You love painting too, and yeah, that's what's great about painting is that you can look at you can measure your progress. You can, and what's really super great about it, let's just say, let's contrast painting against say mastering a video game. I know, most of you are not in that camp, but you would have all the same amount of time, personal time. The most limited thing on the planet is the amount of time that you've been allotted. You know, you can always make more money. You can never make more time. So what do you do with that time? Well, you know, I think a great use of that time is to pursue mastery and express yourself. Each of us has a unique individual point of view that no one else will ever have or share. And art is really the best way to communicate that to others and develop it, and so that you're actually communicating something that people care to see, right? Now, they maybe won't care about your initial attempts, but if you keep working at it and you keep working on making increasingly beautiful paintings, you know, people will notice. And not only that, maybe they won't notice you. Maybe you won't get that reward when you're here. But the work will stay and the work will move people. And that's very powerful. I think that's powerful. It's one of my, well, my main motivation for creating paintings is just because I want to have something to do. And I want it to be something that's meaningful. And not only that, painting is not incredibly easy to do. So some games, to get back to what I was saying, some games are incredibly challenging. And when you master them, what do you got to show for your time? Maybe you get your name on the high scoring board, you know? With painting, you know, you can look back at your early attempts and that struggle. You remember all the failing and all the hard yakka, you know, and then when you do manage to stake some new territory to get to move ahead, it's absolutely the best feeling. It's better than anything else that I know. So I know you know all this, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Yeah, so yeah, I'll be sharing that live session. Now I've got to I don't know how I'm going to structure it, but just look for it. Just look for it. I'm gonna, maybe I'll yeah, because this will be, it's got to go, this in the Substack Studio Pass, they would be getting a live version as this 15-minute version goes out. Same for the YouTube members area. Yeah, so pretty much what I'll do is maybe just give them something a little different on Wednesday. Yeah, something extra special and cool, because I like to take care of anyone that makes the effort to support me. I know it's a lot to have an expense. It's a lot to dig into your pocket and pull out some change and help old Mike out, and I appreciate it, and I try to make sure that I'm always giving more value than well, more value with each passing year, so that if you're interested in learning how to paint and you like the way I paint, you're getting valuable insights. And you know, here's a real truth. One good insight, and I've said this repeatedly, one good insight can change everything for you. Once, if you've got, it's not just enough to sit there and watch videos, though. Come on. You gotta take in the insight and you gotta put it into practice with your painting practice. And when you do that, It's incredibly powerful, man. I didn't have anyone helping me or teaching me, except I had a few great books, of which I've always pointed out here in the channel. Kevin McPherson, Bob Rome, Rohm. I always make sure to spell his name because he's really good. Yeah, check out his book if you're looking for a good painting book. It's not tonalism, it's impressionism, but it's very good. And God, putting paint on a canvas on a board, you know, it's not that much different. The things that make something tonal versus impressionist, well, it's a topic for another video, isn't it? Anyway, look out for that live one. It's going to be coming your way. And until I come back, do me a favor, do me a solid. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. Stay out of trouble. And fight the power.